Hey, back again for another week, with your boy Lonzo to the Lo. Alright, I shouldn't even said that. That shit, that shit just sounded corny altogether. But welcome back to the Hangout with your boy Lonzo Low, and this week, I didn't really plan for this episode. It was kind of like a last minute thing, so I don't really have any notes jotted down or any segments per se. So I'm gonna be pretty much just freestyling this one. It probably won't be as long as the other ones, but this one, like I said, it was just a last minute thing. I feel like I wanted to talk about because of some recent things that just popped up for me recently. But this week's episode is going to pertain to mental health. Excuse me. It's just something I definitely wanted to talk about specifically. I know if y'all listen to my previous episodes, and if you pay attention enough, you'll hear me talk about mental health in and out throughout every other episode. And I feel like now is the right time to talk about it because I've noticed a lot of people, moves are changing. I noticed a lot of things is going on in the world, and just a lot of people talking about their emotions. And plus, on nowadays, people are more open to talk about mental health versus versus talking about it 10, 20 years ago. So, I feel like this episode for me was is long overdue, but here we are. But first things first, I should have got the mental health hotline. I'm gonna put it in the caption or in the description of this episode. I didn't even think about that, just in case somebody who's listening to this episode might be going through something mentally, and if any way possible I can help them out by giving them a mental health hotline or direct them in the right direction, please, by all means, But anyway, I'm going to just dive on into it. First things first, mental health is very important. And, when it comes to your peace, the peace of your mind from a day-to-day basis, it can really make or break how you move through life. You know what I'm saying? Again, life, we all go through life. There's always going to be ups and downs in life. There's always going to be something that's going to makes us upset in life, because that's just how it goes, with the life that we live on this earth. But at the same time, it doesn't always have to be the most worst of the worst. You know what I'm saying? And plus, a lot of the times, when somebody's going through a storm, they usually just go through it by themselves because they don't want to talk to nobody about it. They just want to isolate themselves and blah blah blah. And which is understandable. It makes sense. You're going through something, you don't want to be bothered with nobody, and you don't want to bother with nobody else. So that can really be detrimental to your person, your mental, of course, your character, your health, for sure. I mean, there's plenty of people who've had heart attacks and brain aneurysms and shit like that from just stressing and being depressed all the time. That shit ain't cool, man. So, I just feel like for now, this is the right time to speak about it because, it's just so much going on in the world all at once. And not only what's going on in the world, but you got your personal problems too. So, I want everybody who's listening to this episode, this podcast, whoever who hear my voice, and then, if you ever meet me one day in person, or, if you come across me on the internet or TL, Instagram, whatever, just know that I'm a person more than willing to talk to you about anything you want to talk to me about. If you're just trying to get some shit off your chest, if you're asking for advice, please hit me up. I'm all open ears. Because believe me, I know what it's like when you feel trapped in your own brain. And that's literally what it feels like when you're depressed or you're going through some mental issues or something. You almost feel like you in jail without being in jail. You feel like you're in solitary confinement in your own head, So anybody out there, please hit me up if you want to just talk, vent, advice, anything. I'm all open for it. You know what I'm saying? If you whatever you want to talk about, if whatever you feel comfortable talking to me about, we'll talk it out. You know. Another thing I want to talk about is before I get too far into this, because I got some specific I want to talk about is uh for us people, and I want to kind of be clear on this. For us people, especially men, because that's another thing that a lot of people don't talk about. For us men, I don't know why I say us people like we some damn like we some damn aliens or something. I don't know why I be talking like that, but anyway, for us men, it's very important for us men to keep our mental health intact. Because for years and years and years, men just never really been open to talk about their problems, to express how they feel about certain situations, to not look like, soft in front of your homeboys because you're feeling down, you're feeling out, you're feeling weak, So I'm noticing even nowadays a lot of men is more open to going to therapy and, expressing their feelings and talking about mental health and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, big up to the fellas that's out there just being more open and talking about it. Because like I said, it's very important that we get shit off our chest. The more you hold shit on your chest, the worse it gets over time. And that has been one of my biggest flaws since I've been living. Like, ever since I was a kid, I just never talk about any of my problems at all. Like, at all. Very rarely, and I mean very rarely, that I ever talk about my problems. You know what I'm saying? Because for me personally, I always felt like I didn't want to burden anybody with my own issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, and on top of that, I feel like also that nobody will understand what I went through, growing up as a kid and becoming a grown adult. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like nobody will understand. And I just bottled all of that stuff up in me for years and years and years, man. And, it just gets to a point where you just want to scream and just yell and shout because, you have everything that you went through, whether it was good or bad, just inside your brain. And it just keeps replaying over and over and over and over and over again. And you just not getting any type of explanation on why you went through what you went through or how can you get through what you went through because you don't talk to nobody about it. And this is where therapists come into play. It's so important, I feel like, in my personal opinion, for somebody to have a therapist. And even if not a therapist, just having a go-to person that you can just talk to or vent your mind to, having a safe space to talk about your problems. Because let me tell you, growing up for me, I didn't have that. I didn't have a safe space or somebody within my family or close friends that I could talk to about my problems. Because, like I told y'all before, growing up for me, I done been through some shit. I grew up very, not, like I said, I grew up pretty rough. Not like in the dirt, but enough to know that my life wasn't served on a silver spoon and platter. You know what I mean? I had to fight for a lot. And for me, when I went through some shit, like I said, I had to go through alone because I didn't have a safe space. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't, it wasn't nobody I can reach out to and be like, yo, man, let me, talk to you about this. Or, as a younger kid, yeah. But when I got older, it just kind of stopped. Because, my mom worked a lot and, she, had her own things going on. And, I couldn't talk to my older brother and sister because, they had their own thing going on. They out with their friends and their people. So, you know what I mean? For me, it wasn't like, damn, I can go home and, talk to, nah, man, whatever I went through, whatever I dealt with, whatever I had to see and feel and hear, all the negative and bad shit that I went through in my life, I had to suck that shit up like a G and just take that shit on the chest and just move on with my motherfucking life because I didn't have a motherfucking choice. I didn't have a choice. It wasn't like I can be like, oh, I need a therapist. Because, and a lot of people don't know this, and I'm okay to talk about it now, because I'm moved past the years on out. But when I was growing up, I had very severe anger issues. You know what I'm saying? And any little thing would fucking tick me off. Like I was a ticking time bomb. Which played a big role in me being in school, because I used to get in trouble all a lot. I used to get kicked out of class a lot. I used to get suspended a lot, put on detention a lot. You know what I'm saying? It got to the point where that, what they call it, general population kids. It got to the point where I couldn't even be in the same class with them, because I was just causing too much distraction in class. I was talking, I called, and what I did was wrong at the time, but I called one of my teachers a bitch in front of the whole class. I didn't care. I was a piece of shit asshole, because I had anger issues. I had so much built up anger because of the shit that I was going through, and I couldn't express it. So I expressed it in a violent way. Now, I wasn't going around hitting on people and shit like that. I wasn't that type of person, but I would talk some shit. And, if I felt like if I didn't agree with it, then I wasn't doing that. I ain't give a fuck. What the fuck you gonna do? Shit, send me to the office. Give me the attention. I did not care. You not finna make me do some shit that I don't want to do. And I didn't have no remorse for it or nothing. So yeah, that was one of my issues growing up, and I feel like a lot of that played because, the situations I was going through, and I had no escape route. So I just turned all that energy into anger, and I was like that for years and years at a time until I got older. Where around like 18, 19, I'm like, I was thinking to myself, and I was like, bro, all this crazy shit that you doing or that you think you about to do, you 18 now. So it ain't like you can just, moms can help you out. And nah, whatever you do on the fucking streets, you're going to jail. Period. And ain't nobody in the motherfucking family gonna bail your ass out. You gonna be right in that joint. So get it together. And I had to tell myself, I'm like, all right, cool. So I had to chill out and all that. It didn't stop right away, but over the years, I could tell it wasn't as bad. And then now I'm just like, all right. I'm so nonchalant about a lot of shit, because I know what I already been through, with wasting energy on being angry, and it's just not worth it. It doesn't make sense at the end of the day. So I'm blessed to move on past that. But back to what I was saying was I didn't have nobody to talk to like that. So growing up, so for me, I really had to just bottle that shit up. And as I got older, because wisdom come with age. As I got older, I had to learn how to be my own therapist. Of course, I'm not licensed, and I didn't go to school for it, but I had to really talk my shit out of a lot of stuff. And I don't mean just like talking my shit up, like doing stupid stuff. I'm talking about like talking myself into like really molding and changing me to a different person. Like I had to speak to me outside of me so I could move forward in life the proper way. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, I couldn't afford no goddamn therapist. I was a kid, and even at 18, 19, 20, 21, I still couldn't afford no therapist. I wasn't making that type of money. You know what I'm saying? But now I can, and I'm still looking for one. So if anybody got some suggestions, please do suggest them to me in my inbox. But yeah, man, like I couldn't afford it. So at that time, I was just like, I gotta just be my own fucking therapist in my head and just, talk myself through this shit. You ain't got nobody else to chop it up with. So this is what you gotta do, But yeah, man, like it's just very important for us to have some type of person to, express our feelings to talk about some shit that we going through, whether if it's something very major or minute. We still need to get that shit off our chest, because this is how people become narcissists and people become psychotic and psychopaths and all types of shit. I mean, there's other ways that people become them things, but that's one of the main ways, is just not expressing how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt a lot of shit, growing up for me, and still do, but I know how to manage it a lot better now. But that doesn't mean I still know how to work everything. I can figure everything out. I still need help from time to time. I still need somebody to talk to time to time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't perfect. I'm just a person that just learned how to use my tools of what I had and build me a better me. I didn't have the best tools to do it, but I made it fucking happen by the grace of God. Because let me tell you something. If it wasn't for my kids and shit, me learning how to do certain things, man, I'd be somewhere completely different. I promise you that. I promise you that. I would be somewhere completely different. If I was still running the streets or doing what I was doing or living for where I'm originally from, I promise you I wouldn't be the type of person I am today. I would not be. No. Yes, indeed. No. I would be somebody doing some highly illegal shit. And I know I've said this before on the podcast, but it's the truth. That if I didn't have any kids, I wouldn't see no future for myself. It's sad to say that, but it's true. God knew it. I had already had that conversation with God. Me and God already had that conversation. So that's why he that's why he gave me 3 kids. That's why he gave me 3 kids, because he know that the type of person that I am, knowing what I've been through and knowing what I'm capable of, he know I would have been through some deep shit. And God, he didn't want that for me, so he chose a different route for me. And I'm more than blessed to have this route. More than blessed. So, and that's another thing. And I know, not everybody's very religious and everything else. I'm not the most religious person myself, but, talk to God, man. That's all. I do that all the time, every day, throughout half of the day. I talk to God, and God be listening. You might think God don't be listening, but God be listening, bro. There's some shit that I was going through 3-4 years ago that I did not understand why I went through them. And now 3-4 years later, in retrospect, looking back, it all made sense of why this happened the way it happened. Because God seen the plan, and he was working shit out. And now it all makes sense why it is the way it is now. You know what I'm saying? So if that's another thing, talk to God, man. Even if you're not the most religious person, if you're more spiritual, or God or whoever your higher belief is, talk to them, man. Go to a church, talk to a pastor, something. It's something, anything that can help you lay down at night without you wanting to toss yourself over a bridge or blow your brains out or step in front of a moving vehicle. You know what I'm saying? I hate to be graphic, but I have to. Then do so, because somebody here on this earth loves you. They would be devastated if you did that to yourself. So don't ever do that to yourself. Somebody out there love you. That motherfucker may not love you, but who gives a fuck? Somebody loves you, and somebody still wants you here. And that's all that matters, man. So y'all make sure y'all seek. And even if you don't feel like you want to seek help, or you feel like the need to seek help, just give it a thought. Sometimes just giving it something a thought might change your mind. Because I'm going to tell you something. Years ago, I was not a person that would be up for going to therapy. I was definitely like one of the people like, no, I'm not a crazy person. I'm not going to therapy. I don't need it. Da-da-da-da-da. Well, guess what, nigga? Person, whatever. Guess what? You need it. You need somebody to talk to, or you need somebody or something, or whatever the case may be, to express your emotions and how you feel. It took me a long time to learn that shit. A long fucking time. Excuse me. It took me a hell of a long time to learn that, And throughout my fucking journey, I'm more appreciative that I'm learning now. I don't want to wait till I'm 40 and 50 to understand this shit.
Cause then I feel like by then I feel like it'd be too late, even though it don't have to be. But you know, that's just you know what I'm saying. So yeah, man, seek therapists, seek anything, anybody. One of the main reasons why I also wanted to talk about mental health, and this next part I'm gonna talk about, but I'm not gonna get into it as far as like detail wise. I'll just keep it very short and brief. But it really just dawned on me. But over the weekend, I was talking to my mama. I was talking to my mama, and we were just reminiscing on the old days. When me and my brother and sister were kids, and my mama raising us, and doing fun things, as before shit hit the fan, and just being a kid sometimes, And that's another thing. Before I slide on to the next segment, that's another thing for me, and I hate to revert back to me because I'm trying to make this about, everybody, all inclusive type thing. But, I remember as a kid that growing up a lot, I don't really remember a lot of the good memories. You know what I'm saying? Like trauma really erases your memory. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does. It really does. And it's sad that it does, because you be talking to somebody and they'll bring up something and you be like, I don't remember. And that's me. That is me. There's always some memory that somebody brings up to me and be like, you remember this? You remember that? And I'm like, I don't. There's so many things that I don't remember because of the shit that I've been through. And anyway, back to what I was saying, because I'm getting too deep. But yeah, I was talking to my mama, and then, we was reminiscing of the old days, growing up and blah, blah, blah. And I was telling her story after story after story, or like memory after memory that I could remember. And in the middle of me telling one memory, another memory instantly popped up in my head, right when I was telling, this memory to my mama. And then all of a sudden it just felt like my mind just went blank, like just within seconds. And then I sat there and I paused for a moment, and I said, oh my God, I cannot believe I forgot about that after all this time. The memory, I'll say this, because I don't really think I can get into it just yet in full details, but one day I will. I don't feel like I'm there yet. But I'll just say that something happened to me as a young child that I guess I blocked out of my mind for so long. And this happened like 20 years ago, 21 years ago, a while ago, long time ago. And for the first time in 20 years, this memory just popped up in my mind, and I couldn't understand why it just now popped up. But then I thought about it. The memory I was telling her before it popped up, it didn't have anything to do with that situation that happened to me, but it was in that it was in that same time frame of when it happened. So I guess what happened was, as I was talking about it, because I remember in that same time frame, that shit popped up too. You know what I mean? And it just blew my mind how it just went away for 20 years. And I told my mama, and this is like the first time I told my mama, because since that day it happened, I never talked to anybody that since it happened. And I told my mama for the first time, and she was just like, just surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like, she like, why you ain't tell me? And I'm like, shit, I don't know. I just forgot. I just forgot. My mind went blank, and ever since that day, I just never talked about it again to nobody. And then over the years, I just blocked it out, and I just, you know what I'm saying? I just erased it from my memory up until recently, of course. And disclaimer, no, I'm not tripping. I'm not, depressed over it. It was 20 years ago, so I'm cool now. It's whatever. But I'm just explaining because, it just boggles my mind how I forget something like that for this long. But I guess, when you go through certain things in life, you just block them out. But yeah, man, I just felt like that was just crazy. Hell, the motherfucking this whole memory just popped up, and I was like, wow, that's bananas, man. So sometimes, man, when you go through some traumatic situation or something that happens very bad to you, and I think from when you go through traumatizing things as a kid, I think the mind, your childlike mind, blocks it out as you get older, or try to block it out as fast as you can because you're afraid to tell somebody, and you try to hide it. Versus something traumatic happened to you when you older, you just relive it every day. I'm assuming. Don't correct me on that. I mean, correct me on that. Don't quote me on that. I'm not, no therapist or no expert, but that's what I think. I feel like when you go through traumatic experiences as a child, you block it out because you're scared to tell somebody. You're afraid of what might happen. Versus when you go through traumatic situations when you're older, you relive that same situation every day, because it's like something that happens in your memory that you just can't remove. And as an adult, your memory's just different, I suppose. So, but yeah, that right there, it just threw me back. And only 2 people know this story. Not a story, but only 2 people know, with that, situation. But at some point, I'll talk about it one day. I don't know when. One day I don't know. But yeah, man, like, it just dawned on me like that. And this is why I want to talk about mental health, because it's very important for us as a people to know that your mental is like, very important. I don't know any other way to put that. It's just super, super fragile. And any little thing can trigger your memory or your mind to go left or go right. Our goal here is to live a happy life, make a lot of money, have kids if you want them, enjoy your life without kids and travel the world if that's how you are, and die peacefully. That's all we're here for. That's all we're here for. And then through our travels, through our journey, we're going to have some trips. We're going to have some falls. We're going to get scarred and bruised, and we're going to get cut. But that's what others here are for, to help you back up on your own 2 feet, to nurture you, to care for you, to make sure you get right back up and you keep moving and become a stronger person, man. Years ago, I used to have this notebook I used to write a lot of quotes in. And one of the quotes that I live by to this day that I wrote down was, it's not what you go through in life, it's the way you handle it. Because at the end of the day, no matter how you try to slice this cake of life, of what we call life, you're going to go through some shit in life regardless of, no matter what. That's just how life is, But whatever you're going through,
There's always a better way to handle it. So it's not what you're going through. It's not always what you're going through. It's the way you handle it. You can spaz out, get upset, and go crazy and lose your mind. Or you can chill out, have your moment, shit a tear or two. Find somebody to talk to about your problems and see if they can help you. And then go through your recovery phase. So you become a more stronger, healthier, and wiser person. You see what I'm saying? When you go through your storm, you gotta promise yourself that you're gonna come out stronger. Everybody goes through a storm. Some people, storms may be worse than others, but everybody goes through a motherfucking storm. Everybody has been depressed at least once in their life. Everybody has been through some shit. So can't nobody point another fucking finger at somebody else and be like, yeah, my life is like this. What's your life? Don't do that. That's not cool. Just because my life might be a little bit better doesn't mean I still can't help you out. And that doesn't make me a better person. They're just my circumstances just happen to be different. Just because your life better than mine, same thing. Quick in the judgment, it goes straight into hatred and envy. And that's another mental issue, you know. So, you know, y'all just, you know, always keep that in mind, that your mental health comes first. Because once you lose your mind, it's really fucking hard to get it back. And sometimes you don't. There's people who lost their mind 20 years ago, and they will never be the same. They will never be the same. Sad as fuck. Sometimes all it takes is one thing to fuck you up for life. But I promise you this, if everybody had a go-to person or some type of escape route or something that can help them going through whatever they're going through, there'll be a lot more happier people in this world. I promise you. There's a lot more. So look at your friends, look at your family members, or anybody that's close to you, co-workers. And I'm not saying get into people's business, but I'm saying just pay attention to them, you know. Ask how they feeling. See if they need anything. Check up on your friends, man. Check up on your family members. See if they need anything. Because you never motherfucking know. It'd be such a shame to know that one of your close family members or friends off themselves, or, you know, whatever, something bad happened to them, or maybe not even off themselves, they got on drugs real heavy and they OD'd, or, you know what I'm saying, something really bad happened to them. And all this shit is from personal fucking experience, so I know at first hand. You know, I had family members in my family that was murdered, and still don't, you know what I'm saying, don't know who did it. Now, there's been speculations, but, you know, but that's neither here nor there, you know. But always check up on your peoples, man. Check up on people all the time. You don't have to be every day, or don't have to be, you know, just every once in a while. If you ain't talking to somebody in a while, and if you know that both of y'all ain't on no bad blood type shit, it don't hurt to say hello, how you doing? How's the family? How's the kids? How's your life going? How's your job? How's work? Sometimes all the motherfucker need is just a hello, how you? Just so I can talk to you, so I can talk about something. Just to get some shit off my chest, man. That's it. I've came across a bunch of people who I barely knew from a fucking can of paint, who just started talking to me about their everything that they've been through in their life. And at first I used to think that shit was weird. Like, why are you talking to me about your life? I don't even know you. I don't know you from a can of paint. I don't know you. But then I start to think, and I'm like, this man is going through something. This woman is going through something. And when they seen me, they must have seen something from God.
Cause I'm just diddly do that and then walking in the store and just minding my business. But when they seen me, they seen something in me that they felt the need to say something to me, to speak on something, to just get something off their chest. And I just stand there and I just listen. Sometimes that's all a motherfucker really needs is just somebody to fucking listen. You don't even need to respond with nothing. Just somebody to listen, hear you out. I'm not asking for no handouts. I'm not asking for nothing. Just listen to me for once. Just listen to me for a couple seconds, for a few minutes. And I'm going to go on about my day. I can't count how many times I didn't encounter people like that. For real. I just be at the grocery store getting some groceries and I be in the aisle and somebody would bump into me by asking, oh, I'm sorry. And then they start just rapping about their whole life, man. That person could have been going through something. Matter of fact, that person could have planned on killing themselves later on that day. I don't know. I never seen that person again. I don't know if they did or didn't. I don't know shit. But what I'm saying is that I could have prevented that just by talking to them. Just by listening to them. Just by hearing them out. It's the little shit that really counts that people forget about. It's not always about meeting up for a special event and going out to clubs and have a good time. Sometimes just chilling with a motherfucker and talking to him for hours. That's therapy. That right there is therapy. It might not be a licensed therapist and you might not just be sitting there just to be on some therapy type shit. But it just be one day you just sitting there chilling with your homeboy and you be like, yo, for real, dog, let me holler at you about something. Let me talk to you about something. Can I ask your opinion on something? I'm just be going through some shit. And your homeboy has to be open to that because a lot of us dudes, we not open to our homies, our friends being, in an emotional state with us. Cause, we gotta be macho all the time. We can kind of be judgmental because that shit might be too soft. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. Don't mean, you know what I mean? So talk to your home, man. You got to be open to listening to your homeboys and talking to your homeboys. But more listening too. Because more niggas will talk to their homeboys about, other shit than, if we will open up our ears and just listen. Because women do it all the time. They'll go straight to their homegirls and be like, you know what, girl, this is what I've been going through, because they have that space, they have that floor, they have that comfortability to go to their friend and talk about what they've been going through throughout the day, throughout the month, throughout the year, whatever. Us men need to do the same thing for each other, for real. My homies, they know, and maybe, as a matter of fact, maybe they don't know. So if they're hearing this, just know that if you're going through some shit, I thought I may have acknowledged before, but if you're going through some shit, and if you want to talk to me about it, please do. You might, we family. Fuck friends. We family. So what if we don't share blood? We've been cool for over 10, 12, 13, 14 years. It'll be 20 years in just a few years, in a little bit. Maybe 5, 6 years from now. So after all this time we've been friends, you feel like you can't be comfortable talking to me? And that can be my fault too, because maybe I didn't give you the open space to do that. So I take the blame for that too. And if I made you feel that way to any of my friends, who I've known since whenever, if I made you feel like that you couldn't talk to me about some shit, I apologize. I sincerely do. Because now that I'm older, I understand how this mental health, how important this mental health shit is. You know what I'm saying? So, for anybody that's out there, like I said, holler at me. Because I'm always going to be listening. Y'all make sure y'all check up on y'all peoples. Y'all make sure y'all stay intact with yourself. Never lose who you are. Never lose your foundation through the storm. The storm will pass over. There's no permanent storm. There's no storm in the motherfucking world that's permanent. It has a beginning and it has a goddamn end. And after that storm leaves, guess what? It's sunshine and rainbows. And pause. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I apologize if y'all heard that. But rainbows and shit. Now, you ought to give it. I'm not even gonna do this whole pause shit. I'm too old for that shit now. This whole pause shit, fuck all that. Rainbow nigga. Trying to tell you, dog, when the fucking rainbow became like a gay thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that. Like, everybody, ain't no motherfucker that was a kid ain't drawn at least one rainbow. So don't give me that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not bashing anybody that's gay or anything like that. Not at all. Not even close. But I just don't understand where this whole rainbow and the gay thing came about. I don't know. I'm not trying to even get into all that. Oh, you know what? Actually, now I'm speaking on that, I am gonna get into it just a tad bit. For people that's, you know, LGBTQ community, I think I said that right. Y'all especially, definitely with the mental health thing. Like, if not more than anybody, because y'all hide who y'all are for years from the world. Not only by your closest friends or whatever, but from the world. So, you know, y'all definitely be open to getting mental health and finding, you know, I know finding a safe space is really hard because not everybody's wanting to listen to somebody, you know, who they don't agree with their sexual nature. So I get it. I mean, yeah, you know, so y'all definitely should be open to it. You know, shout out to y'all and everything else. But yeah, man, I just feel like I needed to speak on just all of this mental madness and everything else. You know, I want everybody to have a great life. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody around me to be successful. I want everybody around me to be rich. I want everybody around me to just have fucking fun and good time. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to create great memories. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at this point where I'm ready to let go of my past, man, because my past ain't gonna help not. It ain't gonna do nothing for my future, but just helping me learn from my mistakes and what not to do and do. You know, I gotta let that shit go and make room for new shit in my life, new memories. You know, if you keep holding on to the old memories, you won't have time and make room, or you won't have time to make room for the new memories. That's real. Don't spend 15, 20, 30 years of your life wishing that you could have done, should have done, or what you didn't do, or wishing that this shit could have went this way or didn't do. Man, listen, man. You got one life. That's all you're guaranteed is one life. And if God really loves you and really mess with you, you might get two depending on what happens. But for all of us, we got one life. Don't waste it. Time waits for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I hate to be on some preacher shit, but, you know, I just want everybody to be happy, man. Just genuine fucking happiness. That's all I strive for is peace, tranquility, and happiness. Man, if I had those three things all together at the same time, boy, man, life would be great. Not to say life ain't great now, but just, yeah. It'd be wonderful, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out this episode. I didn't expect to talk this long, but it's all good though because it's about something important that I feel like everybody needs to talk about anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I'm gonna put the mental health hotline in the description bar for this episode. So just in case anybody, you know, comes across this episode and really needs to find some type of help, seek help, something, it'll be right there for them. And if not that, you can, you know, hit me up.
My at on Twitter is Lonzo Low, DJ Dasani on Instagram. I don't really use Facebook like that. Yeah, hit me up, DM me, inbox me, whatever. We can talk for hours about anything that you got on your mind. I don't care. As long as I know if I'm helping you in your mental state, that's all that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, appreciate y'all. Love y'all for tuning. And let me tell y'all, the numbers for this shit is going up. So, I'm really, 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 really very appreciative of y'all just being very supportive of me through this journey of, I think I started this in March early this year. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So 7 months of doing this. I mean, I would have had a lot more episodes, but I took a little bit of time to myself off. But I'm back and I'm with y'all, and I see how serious y'all are about listening and tuning into me every week, because I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, oh shit, I'm to the point where now I can start getting ads, on my shit, and ambassadors and shit like that. So if I keep doing this, I can start getting paid. I'm trying to get some money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but I really do appreciate y'all, man. This has been one journey, one hell of a journey. And I really want to do like a little Halloween theme. Like for the next couple months, I want to do like each episode be like a Halloween. I mean, not Halloween, but like a holiday themed episode. So I'm gonna definitely do a Halloween one, Thanksgiving one, Christmas one, blah blah blah. So y'all be sure and look out for that. And I'm going to be starting a YouTube page soon. Godly, I can't talk. YouTube page soon, so be on the lookout for that. And like I said last week, I'm still in the works of getting this shit on film. I'm just at this point where I need to find the right camera, and then after I find the right camera, I have everything set up, and I'm gonna surprise y'all on how I'm gonna do my videos. It's not gonna be like every other podcaster where they got the little colorful lights and shit in the background. They got the little microphones, off the boom and shit. I already got how I want to do this shit in my head. And I think it'll be kind of creative. And if it goes the way I want it to go, this is gonna be big. This is gonna be huge. So y'all be on the lookout. It's not gonna happen anytime soon, but just bear with me and trust me that the way I got it in my head is it's gonna look cool. It's gonna be on some real cool shit. I promise you. But yeah, y'all be sure to tune in every Thursday night with your boy Lonzo Low at the Hangout. I promise I will keep more consistent, be more consistent with these episodes, because I'm really proud of my supporters, my listeners, because y'all really fuck with me. But yeah, this is Lonzo Low at the Hangout, signing out.